Hey guys, Marsingen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so the next stage of Extreme Super Battle Road is about to release for Global, and it is the GOKU family stage. So this one is going to be pretty straightforward. There are obviously many different combinations of units that you can use. GOKU family, of course, being one of the biggest categories in the game. So there are going to be a ton of options. So for this team building guide, obviously I normally go over my top picks and honorable mentions. I'm obviously going to be going over, I would say, a fair few less units this time around, just because the category is so big. We're going to cover really the top picks and the real linchpins of the team. And essentially for some of these units, they are so good, you can just build the rest of the team around them, and it doesn't even really matter if the rest of the team is that good. So one thing to bear in mind, you are fighting Vegeta family enemies all the way through. It's the same with the Vegeta family one and fighting Goku family enemies. So in the first fight you have King Vegeta and Kid Vegeta. So remember, both enemies will be pure Saiyans. And then in the second and third fight you fight different iterations of Vegeta and Trunks. So remember that Trunks is obviously a hybrid Saiyan. So certain units, you can probably guess the specific tech red-haired boy that I'm talking about. You're going to want to make sure that in those second and third fights that you keep Vegeta alive, so that you can get the full passive for those pure Saiyan related units. So we're going to take a look at the category. Like I say, we're going to go over some top picks. Now obviously for this particular one, there are a lot of units that I'm not going to cover just because there are just so many to go over. So let me know your thoughts down below on who you think are some of the top picks for the Goku family one. I feel like some of these are going to be really obvious. So rather than me sitting and going through every single unit on this page, just let me know units down below that you guys think will be good that I did not mention, and then people can obviously use not only the content of this video but also the comment section in order to get some good ideas for team building. So obviously you have to start off with the leader. Now Super Saiyan 4 Goku does have the 180 lead, so in terms of an overall leader skill that encompasses the entire team, he does actually have the highest leader skill. He's not the best Super Battle Road unit, but with his Easy A, obviously his defense is very good after supering. He has the turn 4 active skill, which very often in Super Battle Road can just be used as a finisher to finish off the last enemy, so that can be very useful. So he's definitely a good pick, right? And obviously with some of the other units that we could bring, does have some decent links with everybody. He's a solid unit overall, not a slot 1 unit, but can definitely do very well. Now next up we have who I think is probably the go-to best pick for leader, and that is the STR Goku and Gohan. So they have a Super Saiyan or Goku family leader skill for 170, and then Android/Cell Saga get the extra 30% for the 200% leader skill. There are 1 or 2 units on here that will get that full leader skill, but honestly the stage can be beaten with a full 170 team, so it doesn't matter too much if a large majority of your team are not getting the 200% leader skill from whoever you choose to bring as a leader. But one of the reasons why this guy's so good, you're pretty much never going to see Gohan come out, but you can stun on super with a high chance, and then post super attack he has a 50% chance to dodge. Each dodge gives him some extra stats, so he's just a very solid unit overall. Goku family, as you'll see as we go through some of these units, has a lot of very good stunning units who you can take advantage of. So definitely I would probably run double leads of this guy and then just have them both floating, and that stun and dodge ability is going to come in very handy. So next up we have the Namek Goku. Now in terms of leader skill, he leads Legendary Existence or Super Saiyan. You definitely can make a full Goku family team out of this. Not the best Super Battle Road unit in the world, especially because after the first fight we're only fighting super type units, but he definitely is a good unit that can cover a lot of the other characters that you want to bring with his leader skill. I would probably just go for his 12 key super deliberately, try and get those extra defensive stacks, and then he can be pretty decent. I probably would only use him as the leader if you're missing out on any of the other options, but he definitely can be a solid pick for the team. So Next up, we have the Carnival LR Goku. Obviously, this guy is a top pick for the team. Not a good leader, unfortunately, but definitely a solid pick. I think you can make a full powerful comeback team that is Goku family, but running double Carnival Gokus is always kind of awkward because only one of them can revive, which means if you start the turn below 59% HP, then the other one that can't revive doesn't have their guard active, but can't revive, so that can be an issue. But running one on the team, he's absolutely spot on. You can put him in slot 1, he can tank all the attacks, he raises defense on 18 key. He's just very, very good overall, and obviously that revival can come in clutch if he's coming in on the following turn after you've eaten a big super and essentially save you from losing the run. So once you pick your leader, if you have this guy, he probably is like the top pick to run on the team. So next up, we have B-Pan. So I thought I'd give B-Pan an honourable mention just because obviously she can provide a lot of healing. She can stun on super attack. So she's a unit that I feel like you can bring literally just as the last option on the team to fill that 6th slot. And she will help out a bunch of people with the stunning, with the healing. Obviously, she's not super top tier. She's not like she's probably the least worthy mention unit out of all the ones we'll talk about in the video, but obviously can still be very, very good. So definitely worth considering, especially as a free-to-play option. So next up, we have the AGL Kid Gohan. This guy can be very, very good for Super Battle Road. He's supporting everybody defensively. He has a chance to stun on super attack. He then also has the active skill that gives him guard, a 30% heal, and raises all allies' defense by 20% for 2 turns. So obviously in Super Battle Road, this has no turn restriction. You could just go into the 2nd or 3rd fight at 58% or less HP, which is the condition, and then use this straight away on turn 1, giving everybody a defensive buff, giving you a heal. He's going to guard, has that stun potential. He's just very, very good for the team, right? You can't get his unit super because you can't run a Piccolo or a Krillin on the team, but he's going to be a very solid supporting unit that does a lot of things for your team. So next up, I thought we'd include our boy Raditz here. He's a unit that's aged quite well for Super Battle Road. Against multiple enemies, he has damage reduction and gets a guaranteed 1-turn stun. And then obviously he can stun for 2 turns if you actually get the stun from his super attack effect. The only thing you have to be very careful is when it gets down to only 1 enemy, he loses the damage reduction and just gets a little bit of extra attack and defense. But with his non-EZA stats, he will absolutely take a beating if there's only 1 enemy and you don't have an item active. So make sure to be careful about that, but he can be very useful as well. Next up, we have, of course, the unit that we could not go through the video without mentioning. I referenced him at the beginning, and that is, of course, God Goku. There is a Pure Saiyan enemy in every single fight, so as long as you keep the Vegeta alive and take out the Trunks first in the 2nd or 3rd fight, this guy is going to be basically untouchable, whilst also creating rainbow orbs and having some pretty decent links as well. So this guy is right behind Carnival Goku. This guy is there as like the top pick. In fact, for this stage in particular, because of the Pure Saiyan enemy, he probably is better than Carnival Goku. He also seals as well, which is very useful for Super Battle Road. So this guy definitely a top pick. Then we have the Tech Gohan, the unit that continues to age incredibly well. Now, nowadays, in the harder stages that are coming out, if you put him in slot 1 on turn 1 and he eats a super, he is going to take a decent amount of damage, but still very unlikely that he's going to get one shot because he has that guard. Once he starts getting a super attack or 2 off, his defense is obviously going to look really good, so he can be a very solid unit. I don't think I would put him at the top of the list for inclusions because of the way he links up with the rest of the team, but he definitely can be a solid inclusion. Next up, we have Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He is more of an honourable mention as well, but especially if you're running the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku as the leader, then obviously this guy can provide him with a ton of the links that he needs. I think his EZA is quite underrated. Like, he can hit really hard whilst having really solid defense after supering. So I do think he is a worthwhile honourable mention. Next up, we have this Gohan. I haven't talked about this Gohan in a long time. He's started to age out a little bit now, but he has 58% damage reduction and provides superclass allies with 2 key and 30% support, whilst also being able to stun and having a pretty decent link set. So in terms of the free-to-play options, as much as World Tournament cards are, I think this guy is still a pretty solid option. He's not going to be eating supers left, right and centre anymore, but he's still a solid unit to consider. Then we have this free-to-play Goku and Gohan from the Worldwide Download Celebration. We seal super attacks, they raise defense, they have the built-in chance to dodge, and then obviously from like this, is it the 6th turn you can transfer, 5th turn you can exchange, which you're probably not going to see at all. But basically just having them there as a dodging unit that can seal, definitely another solid free-to-play option. I wanted to mention a few of the good free-to-play options just because this team is so heavy with top-tier summonable units. Including this guy right here, the Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He can stun on super, he can get multiple super attacks, they can all be crits. He's raising defense with each super. From the 3rd turn, if you're at 77% or less HP, you can transform into Super Saiyan 3. This is very viable in Super Battle Road, it's not one of those ones that you're never going to see. And then he can still stun, but he'll just be dishing out tons of damage, tons of supers with crits. So very, very powerful unit to have on the team. Not a slot 1 unit, but if you're running teams where you've got units like Carnival Goku, God Goku holding down slot 1, this guy can function very, very well as an all-out damage dealer. And the fact that he can stun on top is very, very good. So next up we have Heart Virus Goku. Been a while since we talked about him as well, because he really is just a Super Battle Road only unit, but he is incredibly good. As the slot 1 unit for those first few turns, he's basically not going to take any damage. He can additional, he can crit. The only downside is that he sacrifices some HP on super attack, but that can be beneficial for some of the other characters like active skills and stuff that we've seen, so it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. I'm never normally a huge fan of units that sacrifice HP, but this Goku in Super Battle Road specifically is very, very good. So he's definitely worth considering. And then, of course, we get to, I feel like every team building guide for Super Battle Road now is going to have a section like this, so I can keep pushing the heroes agenda. And that is the heroes unit. So it is very possible to make a full heroes team that is Goku family. Obviously with the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku having the 200% leader skill, he only needs a full heroes team to get his damage reduction, which obviously we're going to be able to do. You're not going to have a Vegeta partner, so you can't get his defensive support, but other than that he's still going to be very solid. And then we have units like Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, who's just a ridiculously good tank, needs crossover allies, but obviously very strong. Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku, one of the better Easy A's from the heroes units. With Heroes allies, he not only has the guard and a ton of extra defense, but 35% damage reduction, as well as a great chance to stun. So he's a really, really good slot 1 unit. We obviously have Xeno Pan as well. If you didn't get the Goku, obviously, from last year, she has a crossover leader skill. This guy has a Heroes leader skill. Gohan has a giant 8-power leader skill, so unfortunately not as good for Goku family. And if we go all the way back to Goku family, we also have like the Xeno Goku, who's a support. He can stun. Super Saiyan 4 Gohan can stun. Pan can stun. Xeno Goku can stun. There's also Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, who can seal. So the Goku family team, very good. Super Saiyan 3 Gohan as well. Doesn't have any utility, but is pretty strong. So you can make a full Goku family heroes team, which is what I'm going to do for the No Items run, because you guys know me. I have to continue to push that heroes agenda at all times. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Obviously, there's units that we didn't talk about, like GT Goku can still be pretty decent these days. Looking at the LRs, obviously UI Gokus, if they come in clutch with their dodges, can be really good. Actually, we should give a shout out to Kaioken Goku, Mr. King of Burst Mode, because every single fight has a Vegeta enemy, so he will get his intro animation and his full passive, so he can be really good. This Super Battle Road Gohan is really good as long as he has a Goku on rotation with him. Bardock is really good with the seal. So as you can see, like, Goku family is a huge category with tons of units that can be good in this stage, like Ultimate Gohan alongside Tech Gohan providing that defensive support. Like, there's just so many good units on here. You guys let me know down below. There's obviously many units that I didn't talk about, but let me know what your team builds are going to look like and who are some top picks that people should consider for this stage. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.